Yo, memamo akwa abashron koso ediaba POG Media so message so fee and I say waba subscribe like jumadi no na share na ma foforo and so answer in kabi and kindly click on the notification bell no so send be any news be to platform no so I want so we hunu de airco and the air by yan queen some name fan some dodo na no embre wa ye ko eye Torkono eye so ye na Torkono nsensem de dodo na POG Media ye de ho nsem ayede abrɛw and Akroma monso manya bi etie hu de ekɔ, and this is the latest one coming from one of political journalist or monso di akotene pa ye o Ghana ha, and what you say the reason why Torkono was sacked was about allegedly some 337 million Ghana cedis be if say my guess is right, yes. And see nam sense so na allegedly the pamono and you be bring it is unfolding eba you person beko na wakwa akoti bianko ni kokoti abra o chemu for no den sem dodo na etuja.
This is the Black Pot, aka Akuffo, and here we speak truth to power. Remember, we are the headquarters of the truth because we are not neutral. We have taken sides. The side of the truth will never compromise. Oh yes. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, it must be only on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. Now, there is a very important issue we need to look at, and we are not going to be long. Watch this. This woman called Gertrude Araba Esaba Torkono, the 15th Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, who was recently kicked out by President John Dramani Mahama in consultation and agreement with the procedures laid down in our constitution for the removal of the Chief Justice. Article 146, many have read it. It has become a signature of almost every Ghanaian who is interested in Ghanaian politics. Lawyers have quoted this left, right, and center, and it looks like it has stuck on us like a tattoo. This woman here was born on the 11th of September in 1962. How old is she now? 60. What years? 3 years. She's pushing 64 next year. In fact, this woman became the 15th Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana after Enin Yeboah, the former Chief Justice, reached retirement and was kicked out. Or better still, was excused. This woman came in and became the Chief Justice. Many were those who heralded her arrival. Many were those who clapped for her. Many were those who applauded simply because of her gender. And of course, her brain. She schooled both in Ghana and outside Ghana. Now, Nana Addo Akuffo Addo was the one who handed over the mantle to her and believed that she would be able to run to the finish line. In fact, and even fly with better colors. What do we mean by better colors? Many Chief Justices have come. She was the 15th, a female. She certainly was not the only female Chief Justice we have ever had in our republic. But this one, for some reason, many people believe that she was going to do better. Because the reality is that as we grow, we should be able to outdo what others have done in the past. That is what is called development. Unfortunately, she fell below the average line, according to the new regime that came after the one that made her a queen, the Chief Justice. And I'm talking about the regime of John Dramani Mahama. When John Dramani Mahama came into power, petitions were sent to him against the Chief Justice. She had misused her office, amongst other allegations, by one Daniel Ofori. Now, Daniel Ofori is a man who has never agreed with this Chief Justice. He has succeeded in going to the Supreme Court and getting the Supreme Court to agree with him that the Chief Justice, before she became the Chief Justice, had been biased on a number of occasions towards him, Daniel Ofori. Now, for those who don't know Daniel Ofori, this man here at the age of 15 was already a millionaire. The owner of Whitechapel and so many other businesses. He has properties all over Accra and beyond. He is not a poor man. He might not be very much lettered, but when he speaks and analyzes issues, you might think that he's a lecturer in a certain university in Ghana. My brother, my sister, Gertrude, Araba, Esaba, Torkono. She was born in Cape Coast, but she hails from Winneba. So she is fancy. She and her family traveled using the taxpayers' money, and the committee that was set up by John Dramani Mahama and his government to look into this issue came out with one verdict, that she was guilty of misusing her office, and for that matter, she had to be kicked out. More than 20 different allegations were leveled against her, but 3 of them went through, and she was kicked out. My brother, my sister, today, there is a big question that many people are looking at, and I'm interested in this. Watch this. Really, Gertrude Torkono sacked because of how much? 337,000 Ghana cedis. This was the money involved. This was the money involved in her trial, her supposed trial. The Council of State met, formed a committee that sat on her issue of misappropriation and abuse of office, and found her guilty on 3 different counts or even more, and decided that she should be excused. She's tried to fight it in court. Not many Ghanaians have agreed with her. It looks like now she's lost steam and decided to stay back. But many have asked, a woman who has worked so hard and risen to this level, look at the amount of money. 337,000 Ghana cedis. Is that why she must lose all her benefits and all that? Come here, let us discuss this better. Watch me. Now, my brother, if you steal 1 cedi and another person steals 1 billion, when you go to the court, how do we call the 2 of you? Thieves. Whether you steal a stone or gold, as long as the act involved in stealing, you are a thief. When the law courts convict you of stealing, convict you of theft, then you are a thief. In our country, it looks like we are so much interested in the fact that if somebody steals something of not so much value, we excuse that person and say that is not theft. We are only looking for those who are stealing big monies and things that are of so much value. When we start looking at the world like that, we will end up encouraging thievery. How do big thieves become big thieves? They start by being small thieves. When you are a little boy, your mother sends you to go out there and buy Kobe. Then you go out looking around for the Kobe, because the last Kobe your mother had, she carelessly put it aside and the cat took it away. So you go out looking for the Kobe to buy. And if it is 2 cedis, you come back and tell your mother that is how much? 3 cedis. Your mother is in a hurry to cook for the family. So she takes it quickly. You pocket the extra 1 cedi that you have stolen. And because you think it's your mother, everything is okay. The next day, you will buy the Kobe for 4 cedis. On the 3rd day, you will buy the Kobe that's supposed to be for 2 cedis for 5 cedis. And you keep increasing the magnitude of stealing. My brother, my sister, Gertrude Torkono was found guilty on 3 different occasions or even more. And the money, the amount involved, 337,000 Ghana cedis. Even if it was 1 cedi, it is still misappropriation. It's the taxpayers' money. Do we know how many people 1 cedi could save from so many different things? Let alone 337,000. How many Ghanaians have seen this amount of money before? The average Ghanaian, this can be their life savings. Money that, if they had in their hands, it will be equivalent to living in heaven. So if one person can grab this amount of money, forget about the magnitude, look at the act. Until we start looking at the act and not necessarily the end, we will continue trumpeting it everywhere that the end justifies the means. So if a man steals 1 cedi, he's a lesser thief. That's why the Bible keeps telling you that there's nothing like a smaller sin and a bigger sin. Sin is sin. It's the black pot, aka Kukushonomo. And here we speak truth to power.
Mahama, as he renews war on Galamsey, recorded by the Daily Graphic newspaper this morning. So it's on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. I'll just read the background to the story and we can proceed from there. It says President John Dramani Mahama has stressed that the campaign He, however, emphasized that the approach would require significant financial resources and maintained also that he would declare a state of emergency in relation to illegal mining upon the advice of national security. President Mahama consequently reaffirmed his administration's commitment to win the fight against the scourge, which has come to be known popularly as Galamsey in local circles. In his words, I want to assure you that we are determined to win this fight, and your contributions, your criticisms, your pressure, putting fire under our feet, we don't have any problem with that. We welcome it. And it goes on and on and on. But this is what President Mahama is saying. Solo, let me start with you. Now, there have been many calls for Galamsey to be declared as a state of emergency. And now we've heard the president indicating that we holding government to the feet, to the fire of accountability is welcome. And he will only go through with that per the advice of the national security. What do you think about it?
Let me greet you once again. Quickly do a disclaimer of a story that was making rounds over the weekend whilst I was away in the central region. In fact, I left Accra on Thursday and came yesterday. Now, whilst I was away, there is this new news portal called Oprah News or whatever.
It's an online portal.
It's an online portal. It's a fake one as such, and they don't even do their work well. That I had said, it's unfortunate my phone is not here, that I was not returning to the MPP and that I was apologizing to Nana Akuffo for all the things that I've said about him. And they attributed to my appearance on TV3 on Saturday. When Saturday I was busily helping Oguakoto in Central Region to bury the mother. And so when people started sharing, I thought people were in the know that I wasn't even in Accra, but I realized it kept coming. People were, so let me use it to clear that I had not granted any interview to that effect between me and Addo. If there is anyone that has an apology to offer to the other, it should be Nana Akuffo. He used my task to go and dig a hole. He messed up. Only recently he said that one of his darkest moments was the DDEP, you understand. So when somebody comes and he is even refusing to apologize, when in fact by saying that your darkest moment was that decision, the next thing that should have followed was an apology. Then between the two of us, I deserve an apology from her and not me. So Oprah News, you did a good try, but I mean, you must get it. You must show your customer. I do not fall for some of these things. And to the numerous viewers and Ghanaians that were sending me, it's never true. It's one of the fake news that you can treat it as a throw it into the dustbin and let's move on. Back to Galamsey. Galamsey, first of all, is an illegality. Let's get it straight. And it is the duty of every government to make sure that they deal with things that are illegal in nature. So ordinarily, we are not supposed to be organizing conferences, programs on something that is illegal? Do we do conferences on armed robbery? There is the duty of the police to go after those that are armed robbers. Is that not the case? Yeah. So it's not something that we must pamper the corporates. But the reason why we are finding it very difficult dealing with this canker is that the actors are also the big players, the decision makers in the country. You understand? Other than that, Galamsey is an open enterprise. If you go to various communities where it is going on, we see it daily. One day, I'll go on a excursion with you to the western side of this country, from Takwa to Bogoso to Prisia. I'll finance it, don't worry.
I'll be happy to.
No, you have to. Sometimes beyond the headlines,
yes,
you have to go on the field and experience for yourself, and you will understand a lot of the things that they say are chaff. That 100 meters from where Galamsey sites are, you would mostly see a police barrier. And you know them.
Or a police station.
A police station. Sometimes even in Osino, it is being done right behind the police station. So who can convince anybody that we don't know? The only reason why it's difficult is that, one, people that you call the honorables, the excellencies, the big men, are the ones behind it. And they sit on the table to take decisions. Those young boys and girls that you see at the site, they are just victims of circumstances. They don't have the jobs, so it is very easy to coerce them or convince them to go to the site and work. When the actual players are in Accra directing, how much is the cost of excavator for those young boys and girls to be able to buy even the chemicals, the chamfines, and all the instrument equipment needed to undertake this? We just have to be truthful to ourselves. That is why I'm so happy that I understand the Attorney General is calling for the prosecution of Wuntumi. When you begin to go after the kingpins, that is the solution. You remember the Attorney General, the current Attorney General has referred the issue of Yamin and Abanga to Iyoko. We expect the report to come out of that. In the same vein, the Attorney General said that they must take a second look at the Professor Frimpong Boate's report. In Professor Frimpong Boate's report, he mentioned people that were behind Galamsey. Why? Are you afraid of them? Are they a special breed of human beings? That we know that they are causing existential threat to you and I. This morning, I'm sure you have taken in some breakfast.
Not yet.
If you do, the thing is that the water that was used to water the ingredients, Galamsey water, chemicals everywhere. So we know them. We must do well to forget about the fact that they funded our political activities. Because the truth of the matter is that they also fund our political activities. Let them understand that the mere fact that you funded them, you didn't ask them to go and do Galamsey to bring you money. It's very important. Now, the program that took place on Friday, with all due respect, I don't think it can give us any solution. The meeting of civil society organizations, the clergy, the NAME, the NIME, it does not solve the problem.
But aren't they active players when it comes to advocacy and,
What new thing was said that we do not know? You tell me one.
Perhaps, coming under one roof.
The truth of the matter is that the president knows the problems. You and I know the problems. We know the consultative agents. It is for people in authority to act. That is what is left.
What do you think the impediment is?
I just told you that they are the ones financing our political activities.
Okay.
And when you go after them, they will remind you that you remember you came for some $2 million. It was from Galamsey. That would be the end of the matter. You can't go after the person again. You understand? So you would realize that the issue, the bone of contention, was whether or not to declare a state of emergency. That was what on the lips of many. And I thought that to be able to answer that question, the president needed to invite his national security and the Minister of Defense, currently at Forces is the one acting, to have dealt with it once and for all. But you see, those that are calling for state of emergency are not experts.
yo gu so a wo hwe ejumedie no edema ya message subscribe like ejumedie no share them for friends and sanka be kindly click on the notification bell no so sene be ya ye de any news be ato platform no so a won so wo hunu de aircall ene de air but ejumedie no offer me no air to aso nene ya no in a mixture form e the amount in Solomon osun so of a movement of change and so kasai efa galamsey ene ho kro no ba yenko ni konkote yensema wa sha ase kra no ode ye de osadi etuja.
Yeah.
They see the problem coming. We all know that Galamsey is destroying our environment. But state of emergency also has its own problems. And the president can only act upon the advice of the national security and the minister or the Ministry of Defense. So I wanted to understand from the Ministry of Defense and also the national security, what are their reasons for not advising the president to move into a state of emergency? Or what is their reason for saying that we should go into a state of emergency? Then we can also interrogate the matter.
But so when you go to the drawing board, last week or so,
yes.
when I had a conversation with PD and Dr. Marazuk,
yeah.
something came up about how a state of emergency might, to an extent, affect, the community members.
Yes.
Because when a state of emergency is declared, then now they have curfews, they don't have to do this,
yes,
they don't have to do that, they are restricted and all those things. So, I mean, all those things put together,
yes,
perhaps is one of the reasons.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying, that we needed the national security to put the matter to rest.
Okay.
State of emergency means that you are putting aside the constitution. You are giving the power to the president to act. Then, now, listen, who are those that are going to ensure that the state of emergency actually works? Is the military.
Yes.
Or the security agencies. At that time, the community people that have mouth to speak today, they will not be able to. Because no law is working. Journalists who are also amplifying the state of emergency, you cannot, because you will not be allowed to go there. You understand? And it's not just going to affect those communities. Because remember, some of these communities, that's where we get our food from, in Accra. So invariably, we will be affected. That is why the movement for change came out with a 10-point strategy to deal with these issues. We said that we were going to ban small-scale artisanal mining for a year. And during that time, reclaim the land together with those young guys and women that have destroyed it by paying them. Because going around doing campaign, we realized that they were paid 200 cedis a day. So together with the Minerals Commission and the Forestry Commission, we were going to engage these people so that we reclaim the land and then engage them. Beyond that, we were going to revoke what we call LI 2462 immediately, and also revoke all licenses that have been issued in the last 15 years. Because one thing is that when you ask anyone doing mining, they will tell you that, oh, they are doing legal mining. What is their basis of saying they are doing legal mining? Because they have a license. The mere fact that you have a license to mine does not mean you are doing legal mining. You were given a scope, you were given an area to mine. You have gone beyond that. The methodology that you put in your business plan that you are going to use to mine, you are not using the same methodology. You are doing it otherwise. We are also going to strengthen the Minerals Commission because their monitoring department is virtually non-existent. That is why some of these things are happening. These were some of the strategies. Now the president says that, look, state of emergency, we haven't got in there, which we agree that we are not there, because he still has the capacity either to ban or what is now prescribing, which is declaring the water bodies as a national security zone. It's one way of declaring a state of emergency. Okay. But these are specifics. Now, beyond that, the 9 months that he has brought up, that's the National Anti-Mining Operation, I believe that I've engaged their leadership, the military. I don't believe in the politicians. I always want to hear the professional, because if anything happens, those military persons, they are serving Ghana. Ghana is their political party. You understand? What seems to be lacking is resources. And so we have November that the Minister of Finance will read his budget. I want to believe and I want to see that more resources have been allocated to the NIMOS for them to be able to deal constructively with these illegal miners. But they cannot achieve whatever they intend to do if politicians, the so-called big men, I don't know how big they are. How can you be destroying the environment and you call yourself a big man?
Or honorable.
Honorable. That the military of this country must not bend down to these people. They must go after them. As was promised by Keneboa. I know him personally. I know him. He is one of the finest. We are taking the top 3 military men. He is one of them. That he does not control or bend down to any nonsense of any politician. That Keneboa will be encouraged not to listen to the whims and caprices of any politician, but to know that the only legacy he, together with his men, can leave for the people of this country is to turn the water into blue color.
Please wrap up for us.
Now, in wrapping up, I understand that 3 kilometers of railway line has been taken over by Galamseers, which is affecting Ghana Manganese and for that matter Ghana Railway. And when I read the story in the graphic, what they are saying is that the land was given to them by the local authorities. You see, this is why I have difficulty. I'm very happy you are a law student. If you read Article 2576, every mineral in this country is entrusted in the hands of the president. Or vested in
the people of Ghana.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if Daily Graphic, and sometimes I have a problem, a difficulty with reporters. Daily Graphic is supposed to be a national newspaper. Yeah. Immediately then they told you that the local authorities were the ones that gave the land, the mineral for them to mine. You extend your interview to go and find out whether indeed it was given to them by the local authority. After that, what happens is that national security will go and grab that man or woman who sit there and call himself local authority. He is a criminal in cloth. Are you with me? So that is what we must be doing.
Right.
I am doing some 1 or 2 checks that I understand that it's not the local authorities, but rather the local politicians. It may be true or not true. I'm hearing duka, but I'll go into it.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to wait, but let me invite.
Why is it that is your time so limited that I can speak for only 7 minutes? Yeah, look, you are forming alliances here. You give me 7 minutes. You are going to give PDA 140 minutes.
Close to 11 minutes.
Oh, so how are you timing me? I was sitting there. I was watching the fridge. You were watching my face. How did you time me?
Intermittently, I was checking my phone.
You work with the CIA. Now I don't believe you.
But
yes.
Aha any edin some no besi ade ma message so subscribe like dwumadie na share dwumadie na ma afoforo and so ensa enke be kindly click on the notification bell no so send be am ye de news be ato platform no so awon so wa hunu de eko ene de de ba POG Media de ye na ma yemfa nsem ne nsia na yemfa dodo na embe so mu achi makramu